it because I want to then later put it into YouTube for everybody to see. Yeah, thanks, Prue. A wonderful point. Good. So as we are embarking now into the physical part first, and after that we're going to have a meditation around the same thing, basically around our own capacity for grounding, or what comes from grounding, which are the feelings of safety in a situation, the feelings of safety altogether in our life, and also everything that contributes to our material survival and our material well-being. So this chakra is quite an important starting point for most humans, because it covers the basics, and it covers our connection to the basic. We're gonna start just simply in a physical position today to stimulate this chakra. So knowing that it sits at the base, at where the coccyx is, and it also really strongly connects to the perineum. So its connections in the body are the soles of the feet, and exactly the inner arches, the center of the inner arches, and then those nerve connections go up through the inner legs. So you can trace that with your fingers for a moment just to feel that, yeah? So the correct connection literally runs up along the adductor muscle right into the center, into your base. So this whole inside part of your legs going into the pelvis is in many ways directly belonging to the base chakra. So that means everything we do in yoga in regards to whatever, stretching the legs, stimulating the sit bones in seated pose, more, all of that helps to stimulate the first chakra. In order to stimulate something, we need to activate it physically and move it, yes, but also what also really helps is to direct the breath to that place and to bring the mind clearly in to know where is the breath going. So this is why I'm describing that in so much detail. So when you are, let's say, breathing in, and then when you're breathing out, you can send your breath down to this place and even send it along your legs right down to your feet. So you cover the full extension or reach of the first chakra. So this is just as a general procedure throughout the practice. I would certainly hint towards the breath, but for you, let's say, for this practice, to keep your mind or one of the focal points of your mind down in the base will be very helpful, because you will begin to create like a sensitivity towards this place in your body. Great. So from there now, we're going to just simply recline, taking the soles of the feet together. And if you have two bricks, you can actually support your knees just a tiny bit to the side, so that you have a point of contact with your outer thighs and a brick, or outer thighs and two hooks. Don't worry if you don't have that. It just sometimes can add to your experience, and it can give you a bit more comfort. So you're moving your tailbone very closely to the heels now, lifting it up for a moment if you can, and then tucking it forward. From there, just simply stretching yourself back down the mat and extending your arms out to the side, palms facing up. And when you're down there, you notice possibly, or bring your attention to your shoulders and slide those shoulder blades down, away from the ears, and then allowing the whole body now to rest down, allowing it to ground into the mat. So as you close your eyes, allow yourself to turn your gaze down towards the base. So almost as if you are internally now gazing down into your pelvis, allowing this to be in your inner mind, just in a soft focus, even with your eyes closed. With the next breaths, just simply begin to observe the natural breath as it comes in and out of you. As you're allowing this natural breath to flow, become simply aware of what the breath feels like today. So bringing yourself with every breath you're taking closer in to feeling your present state. The state of affairs in your body to start with. Asking yourself just little questions like, oh, are there any pains? How is my energy? Is there any constriction somewhere as I'm breathing? And you ask that question only briefly, just to state the fact where you are at in your body as a starting point, and then you let it go again, allowing yourself or surrendering yourself more and more to the breath. Our breath in yoga goes through the nose. So it's an in and out through the nose as you're breathing. Noticing also there any limitations when you're breathing in. Sometimes when we're a bit nervous or a bit upset or something, we can't breathe in deeply. And sometimes when there's something going on in our digestive system, we can't breathe out deeply. So allowing yourself just simply, gently to encourage the body to now breathe in to its maximum and out to empty. And as you're deepening the sound of this breath, you're beginning to still the mind here by bringing your focus to the sound. So the sound of breath is not something harsh or forceful, it is an activation through your throat, almost as if you were having the sound of deep breathing when you are just about to go to sleep or when you're deeply relaxed. So with your eyes closed, you're beginning to experience a little sort of vibration through your jaw into your throat. Your chin is just gently tucking down to keep a little constriction or a little control over the throat. And also so that the back of your neck is nice and long and relaxed. Beautiful. So I'd like you for a moment, with the next exhale, to press the soles of the feet together and to press your thighs down onto the brick. So you feel your outer shins touching the brick. If you're not having a brick, towards the floor or onto a pillow maybe that you propped under your thighs. And as you're feeling that strong activation, so feet are touching and the legs are drawing down towards the ground, you may notice that there is more activation now also going up into the pelvis and the pelvic floor. And if you are just for a moment bringing your focus there into the pelvic floor, just thinking of drawing up the center of that pelvic floor to the spine. So you're beginning to bring the perineum to Mooladhara, the base chakra. So keeping that activation through the feet. So you're bringing this passive posture to something active. With the next inhale, I'd like you to bring the palms of the hands together, pointing up to the ceiling. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you're lifting your shoulder blades, your head stays on the floor. Just feel the activation now through the arms and the chest. So you really want to press inwards. And as you're pressing in the hands and pressing in the feet, you notice, like with that, 2 areas of your body starting to come alive. Take another breath in, and those hands, point them over the head to the floor. So keep reaching until they touch the floor. The inner arms should be touching your ears or your cheeks, and you're reaching through the fingertips to the back wall. Take a deep breath in here, reaching through the fingertips to the back. And a deep breath out, reaching with the breath and your intention down to your perineum and your feet. And do that again, breathing in, reaching to the back wall. Breathing out, pressing the feet while you breathe out and down to the pelvis. And one last time, we're breathing in, reaching with the fingertips to the wall. And we're breathing out, bringing the attention back to the base, Mooladhara. Beautiful. With the next inhale, take your hands back up to the ceiling, reach up one more time and really engage your arms inwards. So that means you press the palms together and you crunch the muscles in your chest, the pecs. So feel them activating, feel them switching on. Beautiful. Then exhale, release your hands. We're going to come onto the elbows. So elbows and forearms, hook your thumbs behind the buttocks and press down through the wrists, through the forearms. With the in-breath, we're going to lift the chest. We're going to raise all the ribs up as high as you can, looking forward for the moment. And as you are here, if your neck is reasonably relaxed, you can follow the second part. If your neck is very tight, I'd like you to just look forward, lifting your chest and breathing. And otherwise, if your neck feels relaxed today, I'd like you to inhale, lifting the chest, and exhale, very slowly, gently take your head back and reach with your head towards the floor. And one more time on the in-breath, you're going to lift through the chest, and on the exhale, reach with the head to the ground. And we're doing that again, breathing in, lifting the heart area, breathing out, allowing the crown of the head to sink towards the ground. Good. The next in-breath carries the chin forward, and on the out-breath, we're going to press the hands into the floor and coming up through the midline of the body. So trying to do that simultaneously. Good one. And then take the ribs out to the side. And then placing the feet hip-width apart on the floor. I'm just going to show you this here in profile so you can see me from the side. So feet are hip-width apart. I bring my buttocks quite close to the heel. And I come back to lying down. So as I'm lying down here on the floor, now with the next inhale, I'm going to take the hands back over the head. So the fingers are stretching away, palms facing up. Feet are pressing down and we are grounding through the feet. So once again, your focus is on your perineum, drawing inwards. And with that, you may or may not feel a little contraction here already just happening by itself in the abdomen. As we're pressing the feet into the ground, we're instigating again to touch the lower chakra, Mooladhara. So with the inhale, you're going to raise up the hips. That's it, raising them up to the ceiling and open the front of the body. Exhale and just pausing here, just holding the posture, holding and feeling that connection. So it's the ground, you're pressing down through your feet. And at the same time, I'd like you to draw your thighs towards each other. And as you're doing that, you notice, wow, those inner legs are waking up, and draw them again. And with the next exhale, we're going to roll the spine back down, taking the hands to the front. We will repeat this now in a more dynamic form. So inhaling, reaching with the hands over the head. Exhale, pressing the feet down, perineum active, lifting the hips. Inhale, keeping the front of the body open and drawing the thighs towards each other. Exhale, lowering the tailbone and the hands back down to the floor. One more time. Inhale, reaching the hands over the head. Big breath. Exhale, rounding those feet, perineum active and up we come. Inhale, drawing the thighs towards each other. So you feel a very strong connection, almost as if you want to close your legs. And exhale, curling everything back down, including the hands reaching to the heels. Inhale, one more time, we're coming up. Exhale, we're going to press the feet in, perineum lifting or drawing in, and we're coming up. Inhale, thighs drawing towards each other. Exhale, you're rolling back down. Last one. Inhale, reaching over the head, feeling that length through the spine, chin tucks down. Exhale, grounding your feet, lifting up. Inhale, thighs drawing towards each other. Exhale, falling down. Nice one. So from there, it's going to turn back to the front so you can see me front on again. We're going to extend the left leg out. I'm going to draw the right knee to the chest. And as you're doing that, clasp your hands around that knee and start to flex both feet. So both feet become hyperactive, yeah? So very active, because again, we want to activate the perineum and the base chakra, Mooladhara. So we're breathing in here, breathing out, and starting to gently draw the right knee and thigh towards the outside of the rib cage. So towards your right side of the rib cage. So taking a moment on feeling that. There's a sense of wanting to stretch the heels of the left and the right foot away from each other. So take your right heel up towards the head and press your left heel towards the wall in front of you. Just one more breath here in Apanasana. This posture is to engage the intestines. It's helping to stimulate the intestines and very clearly to stimulate the base chakra. Lovely. We're going to place the right foot onto the left side and take the left hand on the outside of this knee, of your right knee, and your right arm goes out to the side. So you're having one hand on the leg, one hand out to the side. Turn your head to your right hand as you inhale, and with the exhale, simply roll your knees to the left. And just doing that nice and slow. They don't need to touch the floor, they're just rolling to the left, up to that point where there is a stop, a natural stop in your body, through the muscles, through the fascia. And so as you turn your gaze to your right hand, keep your eyes open and breathe into the right hand, stretching the right hand away. And on the out breath, breathe out and down in your pelvis, once again, letting go through the pelvis. And let's do that again. Inhale, breathe to the right hand, stretching that away. Exhale, allowing the pelvis to soften towards the ground. Last one, inhale. Breathe to the right hand, really lengthening the right shoulder blade away from the body. Exhale, soften the pelvis. With the next in-breath, we're going to roll back to the center. And if you're having your belt there ready, I'd like you to take your belt over the foot. So taking it right onto the ball of the foot. There we go. And then from there, let it slide out Keep the belt in your right hand and have your arm stretched up. Now lower your head to the floor and you're looking up at your leg. So your belt needs to be that long that your leg is straight. This part is really important because there's no point having a bent knee and having a shorter belt instead. So long arm, long belt, long leg. The left hand rests on the left side and the left foot is very active. It is dorsiflexed. The heel is extending away. So we're here now in a one leg up position, looking up to our foot and just taking a couple of breaths to get used to the position. Every breath allows you again to discover a little more softness on the exhale. So the softening part that brings you back to the ground is also helping you to connect to your base chakra. Breathing in and breathing out. And noticing when you're breathing, the body automatically starts to clear a little bit of space. Allowing that space to happen. So you're starting to create distance between your left foot and your right foot. The right foot is moving towards the wall behind you. The left foot is moving towards the wall in front of you. So creating depth through the breath, and yet at the same time on the exhale, make sure that you really relax, that you relax your shoulders, that you relax the body down to the ground. So relaxation often is being classified as something that is sort of passive, but relaxation is also an active state because you're giving yourself permission to relax as we breathe. Nice one. With the next inhale, we're going to simply, with a long arm, a long belt, and a long leg, take this leg out to the side just a little bit so that your spine and your body stay flat on the floor. You can turn your left ear to the ground. So it means you're looking now to the side and take your left arm out on shoulder height. So you have a little bit more weight on the left side now as you take your right leg out to the side. Make sure that this leg doesn't go too deep, that it doesn't just drop to the ground and you lose your balance and your strength in the body. So keep it high enough that you can control the muscles that hold the leg up. 2 more breaths. In this position is called Supta Padangustasana, the reclined, holding the foot pose. Pada is the foot. So now with the next inhale, we're going to take the leg back to the center. Right, looking up to this leg one more time. And then I'm going to bend, take the belt off. I'm going to stretch that right leg to the ground. Nice breath out here. Just feeling for a moment the 2 different sides because it often feels as if we have a longer leg. And then from there, taking the left leg up. Same thing, we're taking the belt across the ball of the foot or the scarf, whatever you have to tie your foot, and then a long arm and a long leg. So being honest there's no point really on trying to keep the knee bent. So make the belt as long as it takes to lift your leg. So we're taking the right hand onto the right thigh and starting to breathe and soften the legs. Long inhalations, long exhalations. Allowing once again to create a relationship between your feet. So your right heel is extending away to the front wall and your left foot is moving towards your head. Still listening to the sound of your own breath. The sound is like this comforting murmur of the sea. It's like something that is like a baseline to your mind. It keeps grounding your mind as you continue to come back to the sound of breath. Inhale now, and as your arm is long and your leg is long, take your right arm out to the side, look to your right hand, and with the exhale, once again, extend that leg outwards. It's extending it out to the side and feeling here that strong connection again. So there's a strong energetic connection because you have to ground your right leg into the floor, and in order to extend a long left leg out to the side. Try not to bring it too low. Just have it in a very conservative form so that it doesn't drop, that you don't lose control. Deepen the breath, allowing your gaze to be soft but yet also alert, reaching to the fingertips of your hand. Nice one. Inhale, we're coming up to the center again, and then from there, just taking your belt off and extending this long leg down to the floor. So stretching it down. Beautiful. Bringing the feet together here, so you're right in the middle of the mat, looking along the midline of your body that you're straight. And then interlacing the fingers and turning the palms inside out. With the inhale, lower your head to the floor and reach with the hands up. Once again, the shoulders are lifting and the arms are squeezing towards each other. So there's a muscle activation now, inner arms, chest, and you're also squeezing your legs together. So you feel the muscles on the inside, thighs, right to the pelvic floor. Perineum and base chakra are strongly activated here. So keep your feet active, keep your thighs active. Beautiful. Now inhale, reach with the hands over the head. Really focus your attention that your thighs are really touching. Ideally, you could lift your thighs and legs up just now by having them squeeze inwards and then lifting. So have them that active. Inhale again, reach through the palms to the back wall. And with the exhale, point your toes. So the whole front of the leg now is long, and you can notice the muscles elongating in the quadriceps and the shin muscles. Chin is tucked down to the chest. Inhale again, reach through the hands backwards, and exhale, keep pointing your toes towards the floor. So the body now is very long. Inhale, and with the exhale now, dorsiflex your feet. So draw your toes towards you, extend the heels towards, away from you. So 2 different foot positions. And one more time, inhale, exhale, plantar so pointing your toes. Again, stretching, the whole top of the foot is stretching. And one more time, inhale, exhale, dorsiflex, extend your heels away. So there are 3 foot positions in yoga. With the third one, we will explore a little later. Inhaling, taking your hands now back up, and with the exhale, if you like, curl up using your abdominal muscles. And then coming up through the midline. If this proves as being way too difficult, yeah, you can bring your hands to the floor, come to the forearms, and push up through the midline. Yeah, both of them work your stomach. So either coming up this way or coming up with the elbows on the ground. Inhaling, we're coming to sitting. Thighs are squeezing inwards, and if you're sitting up, interlace your hands again if they weren't before, and then inhale, reaching up. And as we reach up through the arms, we look down at our feet and draw the legs and feet together. So once again, it's a very active unit down there in the lower legs. And now point your toes again, point them towards the front end of the room while you reach up through the arms. And you see it does look simple as a pose. It's actually quite a challenging pose here, Dandasana. Inhaling again, dorsiflex your feet, looking at your toes, fanning your toes, extending the heels away, and bringing the backs of the knees to the floor. One more time, inhale, and then with the exhale, plant to flex those feet. Good. Nice one. And exhale, release. Good. We're going to cross the legs. And as you're crossing the legs, bring your right leg to the front and have your toes pointing forward. The feet come out quite to the outer edge of the mat. So you're now in a position where you are having like a square shape, basically, literally in front of you. Your legs forming a square shape. And now those feet, once again, they flex, they dorsiflex. And with that, you feel a little more of the outside leg. So outside leg and inside leg, we want to stimulate today. Great. Now inhaling, reaching up, bring the hands just to face the front. That's right. Yay. And reaching up through the fingertips here. Taking a nice breath in, and as you exhale, reach forward. And as you're reaching forward, just have your hand wherever you can be. And so sometimes it can be very close to the leg, that's fine. But so that you can sit upright and that you feel your feet active in the floor. So this is the beginning of the sweet pose, Sukhasana, one of the most grounding poses of the seated poses. So we're pressing down through those feet, feeling the outer edges of the legs. And then from there, I'm going to walk forward. So inhaling and exhaling, and walking forward, just do it to your ability. You don't want to agonize, but you want to feel something. You want to feel a little stretch through your buttocks, through your outer legs potentially, maybe even through your outer calves. So inhale again, drop your shoulders, looking forward with a little gleeful smile. Thinking for a moment of that white elephant, the one that moves obstacles out of the way, and then with the next out breath, just reaching a little deeper into this posture. So as you lower your head just slightly, try not to drop your head. That happens often, but keep your head aligned in the way between your shoulders. Your eyes can be closed or your gaze can softly extend forward, just sort of like there. And then breathing one more time, breathing in and breathing out. And doing another breath here, breathing in and breathing out. Beautiful. So you reach, let's say, where you can get to today. So your extension for today. Now press the feet to the floor, draw up through the perineum. That's your preparation, because we're going to lift the hands off to the ground and up again. So inhale, press down through your legs and come up. This is one of the base secrets of yoga practice of the physical body is you need to push down in order to get light in the body. So let's do that one more time. We're going to exhale, going forward. And then we're going to press down, inhale, coming up. We're coming up by pressing down. Beautiful, everybody. I can see that. That's right. And last one, we're going to come forward again. Keep your legs engaged, belly active, coming forward. And press down, inhale, coming up. Nice one. Exhale, we're going to release the hands behind, fingertips pointing to the buttocks. So the hands are on the floor, fingertips to the buttocks. And then from there, as you're leaning back, bring your legs together, lift your heels, and just sit up for a moment tall. And you notice, oh, that's an abdominal exercise. That's right. That's not fair. That's in the third chakra. But the abdominal connection to the base chakra is very strong. So in order to get strong in the belly, we need to work the perineum and to stimulate the coccyx. So thighs are together, If you can't have the feet parallel, you can let them have lower, but try to keep them off the floor. Yeah, so either parallel or down there. Yeah, so we're holding there for a little longer, and for those who want, they can even take the hands forward just for a little moment, see and challenge themselves there, and drawing those thighs inwards. Remembering, and everything that brings the thighs together is first chakra. Inhale, good. We're going to keep the hands again down on the floor, fingers pointing to the front. And with the exhale, we're going to cross the legs the opposite way. So here we are. Back to Sukhasana. The feet are flexed, toes are pointing forward, and I always move my buttock muscles out of the way so I can feel my sit bones very clearly, and with that also stimulate the coccyx that belongs to that zone of the body. Great. Inhale again, we're reaching up, and with the exhale, remembering we need to anchor down in order to come down gracefully. So we're coming forward. Wherever you are in space right now is fine. Take a breath in, lift your chest, and with the exhale, begin to take the hands forward. Take it as a journey. Don't go too fast. Go with your breath. So we're staying here for another 3 breaths, allowing the body to soften and at the same time also to stay connected to the ground. So we're not just melting into the ground like a pancake, let's say, or a liquid pancake, but we are pressing back to the ground. So using the ground to give us strength and connection. Beautiful. Again, resisting the floor to prepare to come up. Inhaling, coming up. Beautiful job, everybody. Exhale. Good. And one more time, I'm going to take those hands behind. Just for a moment, lifting the chest, lifting the heart, and taking those legs up. So you noticed the thighs, bring thighs together requires strength. So we want to roll the thighs inwards, and if you feel into it, you will find that the perineum and the area below the navel, they need to contract. They need to contract to the spine, otherwise we can't lift our legs very high. So you need to, whether your legs are here or higher up, you need to find that place in your body and stimulate it. Take another breath in. Don't despair if it's not working so well at first. This is a matter of habit. Yeah, so it's a matter of training those little muscles to listen to you again. Take a breath in, and with the exhale, I'm going to take the knees to the chest, pointing the toes, and balance on the sit bones. So ideally your toes are not touching the floor, so you're in a balancing position and sitting upright. So shoulders and shoulder blades draw down towards the ground. And here, as we balance for a moment, you can close your eyes and just take yourself to this place of connection. You're hugging yourself literally, and you're feeling a connection in through the pelvis, down into the ground. And I'd like you to think for a moment that you're dropping down 3 roots. 2 through your sit bones, right to the center of the earth, and then 1 through the coccyx, right into the center of the earth. There are ground connection, that's what we need to stimulate our spine, an alert nerve flow through the spine to the brain and to all the vital centers in the body. So deepening the breath. Beautiful. With the next inhale, as you open your eyes, nice one. You're going to cross the legs and come forward. So over the ankles, crossed ankles. We're going to come to the front. Great. We're going to go into the first down dog of the day. Over the next few weeks, we will progress further into more down dogs and things like that. But right now, I'd like you to tuck your toes under and come to sitting on your heels for a moment, which at first has a very, or can have a very unpleasant note, because the toes often can be quite a tight place in people, depending on the shoes they wear, or yeah, also on their ground connection. When the ground connection is a little precarious, often the toes can be very tense. So we're sitting here on the toes and stretching those little tendons in the toes into the soles of the feet. Right. And I'd like you to take your arms forward for a moment, looking at your hands. We're going to take the right arm over the left arm into a very deep wrap. And as you're wrapping, you try to wrap them into each other. If you can bring your hands to touch, fine. If you can't, maybe hold on to your thumb. Yeah, so you want to find a linking in the wrapping of the arms. So we're going to reach up through the fingertips now. At the same time, the shoulder blades, they don't come to the ears, they go down. Yeah, so even though the hands are reaching up, we're drawing down. Right. Take another breath here. And really sort of try to center your spine over your heels. Great. And now we're going to press up from there, coming up. Good. So believe it or not, but the coming up requires the strength of your base chakra. Yeah. So this is what helps you up. So we're going to do that again with more consciousness and a little more strength by drawing in the perineum. Inhale. Exhale. Really sitting down, but with using the muscles in the legs. We're going to come up now from the feet. So we're going to push the feet into the ground, using the perineum to come up, and it's going to make you come up lighter. Lifting up as tall as you can. And then on the exhale, one more time, sitting down in consciousness. So really using the muscles to sit down, so not crushing down. Right. And last one, inhale, coming up. And with the exhale, we're going to release the arms out to the side. So feeling for a moment just the strength, also in the energy rushing into the fingers, the fingertips. And from here, we're going to take the other arm to the top. And once again, I'm going to raise those fingertips up while shoulder blades slide down. Taking a nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, once again, lowering very consciously, using the perineum, using the contraction in the lower abdomen to sit down. So the toes are still tucked under. And we're going to press from the toes coming up. Lifting up, exhale. Taking another breath here, inhale. And with the exhale again, we're going to sit down on the heels. Staying lifted. Good. And we do that one last time. Inhale, coming up. And with the exhale, again, undoing your arms, fanning your fingers out to the side. So like eagle wings, your hands are really broadly spread, energy is going out. Good. And at the same time, energy is coming up. So while you're here, your toes still tucked under, just feel for a moment, attempt to draw your thighs inwards. So that attempt makes those muscles switch on. So this is what you need. You need those muscles to switch on. Inhale, good. Exhale. We're going to take the hands forward, sitting back on the heels, toes Toes are tucked forward now. We're looking forward at the hands. So you're reaching out to the point, you know, where you can still sit on your heels and your hands are forward. Middle fingers pointing to the front and the fingers are broadly spread. So like an elephant foot, yeah? So both hands are like the feet of the white elephant. So now we're gonna inhale, press into the bases of the toes, exhale, lift the hips high. And as we're lifting high, take your head through your arms, look back at your feet. So take a nice breath in, a breath out. And so your heels are high. And now we're going to bend the knees and bring the belly to the thighs. So bending the knees substantially so that your belly can touch the thighs. Tailbone is lifting. And here, this is again a place to feel the coccyx bone. So the very tip of the tailbone. And this is the place you want to stimulate upwards now towards the ceiling. The head is hanging down. This is very important. Your arms are strong. Your arms are pressing, hands are pressing into the floor, but the head is descending. This is the part that is now coming to the floor. While your coccyx is like a beacon rising up to the ceiling. Inhaling, nice one. Looking forward to your hands and exhale, coming down onto your knees, cat position. Toes are still tucked under. Walk your hands a little bit back so they're underneath the shoulders. With the next inhale, just simply activate everything in your front as much as you can. You know, the belly, the chest muscles, the arms towards each other. And with that, you can feel your spine now should feel supported. And this is the essence of all things around Mooladhara. The base is the support. How can we support ourselves? By using the forces of nature, by using the earth. So with that support now, your spine should be fairly relaxed because the support is there to hold it. So we're going to move the spine now in the cat position. As we inhale, tilt the tailbone up, lift the chest. Exhale, tilt the tailbone down, around the back, look to the belly. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, reverse again, navel drawing up, round your back to the max. Feel the back stretch here. Inhale. Exhale, and all the time while you move your spine, you want to feel your toes really touching the ground, pressing back into the ground, hands as well. Inhale, exhale. Last one, inhale, and exhale. Beautiful job. For the last physical posture before we go into meditation, we're going to bring the knees together and we're going to take a brick between the feet, just watching here from the side. I'm going to take a brick. I'm going to sit on that brick between the feet. So you can see my toes are pointing straight back. This is important, yeah? Do not turn your toes outwards, or I don't even want to show it, yeah? So have your feet in line with, let's say, the shin bone and the knee, and close to your buttocks. So the people that don't need a brick here, that can actually sit sort of like me flat on the floor, they can do that too, yeah? But it does really help to have a little height under your sit bones. You can actually feel almost the position in the same way and helps the spine. Great. So we're coming to the last posture here for today for the Mooladhara practice, and that is called Vilasana. And when you're looking down at your thighs, so now your knees are bent, you have this squeeze because the legs are folded under. So what you're doing is you're blocking the flow through of the legs into the pelvis. And that is one of the base principles in yoga, is that we sometimes create a lock and then we release the lock and the flow is stronger than back to the place where it's meant to be. Yeah. So when we're here in this position, we are basically blocking the lymph flow, blocking the blood flow to some extent, and with that also the nerve flow. And so we're here holding that, drawing the thighs inwards, and again bringing our attention down to Mooladhara, to the base of the spine, and drawing energy from the perineum up. So there's a mudra that belongs to the base chakra, which is this mudra where you bring thumb and index finger together. They are very much belonging to Mooladhara. And so we're going to hold that now, creating a little circle. And that circle should be light. And yet, like if you wanted to break that circle, you couldn't. Yeah. So there is a connection that you create that is light and yet strong. This is the idea of mudras. So we're not pressing together like hell that all the muscles tense, but that connection is there. The other fingers rest. And so we're sitting upright here with the elbows descending and just closing the eyes for a moment, allowing ourselves to reside in this posture and creating a meditation in that posture, a meditation on the posture. So when we meditate on a posture, we become incredibly aware just simply of where we are. So we feel the tops of our feet and the tops of our toes pressing down into the ground. And we feel the shins also really pressing down and securing the anchoring into the ground. Taking a couple of deeper breaths, just letting everything soften. And at the same time feeling, every time you breathe out, you're revisiting the perineum. You're allowing your intention and your mind to regularly visit this basic place of the starting place, basically, of energy movement in the body. Two more breaths. Beautiful. So the syllable that, the sacred syllable that belongs to Mooladhara is Lam. So it's L-A-M. So it's a bit like yam in Australian, yeah? But it's with an L, Lam, Lam. And so just in your own time, if you muted your microphones, allow yourself just for, let's say 5 times, just pronounce for you this Lam. Another time, Lam, and really feeling into the vibration, and Lam, Lam, and Lam. Nice. And then from there, as you open your eyes, remove your brick. And as I said, we have worked with constriction. So before we go into meditation, I'd like you to tuck your toes under, to walk your hands back towards your feet. And just for a moment, to hold on to your ankle bones and to stretch your legs. The ones that have just been restricted or constricted, yeah? So holding on in a little forward bend here, and allowing yourself to feel your legs straighten again, feel the blood come back into the whole leg. Beautiful. And then from there, we're gonna, you can just take your hands to the hips. We're just gonna come up to standing See, we only came once up to standing today. Inhale. Exhale, just extending your arms out to the side and just standing for a moment in a mini Tadasana, the mini mountain pose. Great. And then get what you need to lie down, lie on the floor. I believe you all have warm climates at the moment, so you should be fine in without a cover. But if you get easily cold, cover yourself up. So in placing yourself down on the ground, I'd like you to just make sure that you're straight, yeah? And that you take your legs far enough apart so that really the feet can roll out to the side and you get the sense of opening through the pelvis. Tuck your tailbone forward so your lower back is nice and relaxed, and then come to lying down. If you're using something under your head, I highly recommend to just put it under the head and not the neck, so that your neck can relax down to the ground. Great. So at this point, I'd like you to take a couple of deep breaths in and out. And allow yourself with the out breath also to breathe out a couple of times through your mouth, and with that relaxing your teeth, your tongue, and your throat. Sometimes that might need a few times breathing out, depending on how much is there, you know. There are days where we hold more, and we often hold fear and things like that in our jaw and throat. So allowing yourself to really let this soften. And as you know, close your eyes down, turning your gaze towards the heart. So you're rolling your eyeballs down towards the center of your chest. And allowing yourself to deepen the breath with the exhalations, surrendering the body now to the ground. You're starting there always with the head, because the head is the most, for most people at least, the most active part, and often the most busy part. So bringing your attention to your scalp. And as you're doing that, I'd like you to visualize almost that your scalp, like wax, is starting to melt on the bones and melt and start to drip down towards the mat either side of your ears. And as this melting process is taking place, just shift your attention slightly to your forehead, feeling the eyebrows slide out to either side. Feel the softening of the muscles around the eyebrows. Then feel the eyeballs rolling deeply back into their sockets. The next exhale, one more time, relax your jaw, let your teeth come apart. Feel the tongue comfortably placed into the lower part of the mouth. Feeling your cheeks relax in your face. With a nice deep out breath, bring your shoulders and shoulder blades to the ground and feel the weight of your arms and hands, wrists descending now. And from there, bring your awareness into your chest. Breathe deeply into your chest. And feel with the exhale how the back ribs can sink down to the ground. And then with the next 3 breaths, very deeply breathe out into your stomach and allow that stomach to soften. And as you're feeling that softening through your stomach, feel how the pelvis, the very heavy structure of the bones of the pelvis now, is becoming part of the ground, sinking down into the ground. And shuffle just slightly to feel your left and your right side of your pelvis. And as you are now allowing the pelvis to rest as well, feeling the extension of the pelvis, the long legs, the long right leg softening down, and the long left leg softening down. Begin now to take your attention or to bring your attention to the very base of the pelvic. So the coccyx bone right at the very tip of the spine. And also the zone between coccyx bone and perineum. They are in dialogue with each other. And so you're bringing your deep intention and your loving focus to this place in yourself. As I mentioned, the deep sort of dominant color down here is a red. It's an earth red, a wine red, a blood red. So it's one of those reds that harmoniously derives from the earth. It's alive and warm. So in this chakra, this is the seat of our existence. So that means traditionally here also our karma, so that what we need to overcome in life is situated in Mooladhara. So that means all of us, we have, I guess, core obstacles in our life that serve us for our evolution, for our growth. And every person has their own little particular special little obstacle. And I'd like you for a moment to send out a thought to that, what that is, because this is quite different from person to person. It's very unique. And also knowing that this obstacle, honoring it as a seed to who you really are, as a seed to the meaning and the purpose that you can have in this life. And I'd like you, in your own inner mind, to pinpoint for a moment what that is. What this theme, I guess, we could call it a theme also, is that intertwines and permeates your life. So the karma in the traditional sense is basically that what results out of our deeds. There was a belief and that we brought karma from other lives. But even if we were just to stay in this lifetime, we recognize that there is something that we over and over do at times that gives us a certain result in our life. And we can make that into an obstacle, or we can create it into an energy source that we push off from in order to grow. So allowing yourself to view and feel, like right in depth, the strength of Mooladhara chakra, the strength of your own place of origin, of your own seed place, and acknowledging that what is there serves you to find stability, anchoring, and a sense of wholeness from the inside. With the next out breaths, send in a very sort of decided way a light down to this place of red, this place which is right the base to the whole construction of you. And as you're sending light, loving light to this place, uniting yourself with it, knowing that this is what you can base yourself on, and it is literally your patch of earth that you stand on, no matter what. Slowly now, beginning to deepen the breath. And as you gently begin to move your fingers and your toes, drawing both of your knees now into the chest. And hugging yourself in a nice and loving hug. And from there, rolling over to the side and gently coming up.